Hey everybody, this is Karma, and we're coming at you again on NES Block with Sweet Home. I'm going to go ahead and reset and get back to the title screen. So the first thing I want to point out, this is the 2016 translation by JMN and the Siege. There was a much earlier translation made by Gaijin that was pretty popular. This translation is a more updated one that has a few accuracy, localization kind of corrections, and I would definitely argue if you're going to play this casually with like no guides or walkthroughs, this particular translation does a much better job at giving you hints with all the frescoes and such. But let's go ahead and hop right in here. We got a bit of a ride here. We're not going to change the name. It's going to skip the story here. Time will start in 3, 2, 1, go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get together our main crew that's going to be going through the mansion, and that is going to be Kazuo, Asuka, and Emi, because they have the lighter, the vacuum, and the key. And these 3 key items are like the ones that we need to get around the mansion. We can only create a team of 3 and a team of 2, so that's why we're choosing these 3. The other 2 we'll make a little bit of use of, but they will be mostly just kind of hanging out in the start. I'm going to have Asuka grab this wax candle. Most of this game is going to be about inventory management. So these key items we can't swap out. Emi's key allows us to unlock doors, most doors anyway, that don't otherwise specifically need something. The lighter lets us get through these ropes here, and we should be getting an encounter pretty soon here, right about here. The step counter, or every time you get out of a previous encounter, you kind of set a step counter for how long until the next encounter, and the first encounter will always basically happen right there. So these boards that we're placing down, they have a limited number of steps that we can take over them. This wood here is a 5-step one, so we need to make sure we're careful about that one if we ever need to get back, which we won't. Okay, perfect. Maggots are a really good early encounter because we can use the lighter and then pray with the other characters. You always move first in combat, and we're going to be taking advantage of that to basically only take encounters where possible, where we can win in one turn before the enemy gets a chance to react. And most of the time that's going to involve praying. Alright, so this is the part where things start to get a little bit scary, so I'm going to try and force an encounter right outside this door here, just to have a little bit better of a shot. Wow, I actually had a lot of steps there. I probably still would have gotten a pretty nasty encounter here. Alright, so we're going to use the lighter again. This is actually really good that we got maggots again, because again, they give like 6 XP, which is really good for this point in the game. We're going to save, and the save system in this game is really robust. We're going to wait here for just a second to let this bat get out of the way. We're going to use the vacuum to take this up. And then we're going to pass right up into this screen up here. So one of the biggest things of this game is the inventory management. We only have 2 spaces for items on each character and then their key item. This is the skull. It's a bit of a dangerous encounter for us, especially at our current state, but thankfully, I don't really have any prayer points left with Asuka. Thankfully, okay, perfect. Those skulls are actually pretty dangerous because they have the ability to... Oh wait, we already grabbed that. We want to grab the mallet here. The snakes can inflict us with status ailments, and the character with the medkit is Akiko, who we're leaving behind in the start. So for the most part, if we ever get hit with the status ailment, we will mostly have to reset. Kazuo now has a much stronger weapon, so we can just do a basic lighter there. And we're level 3? Yeah, we're level 3, so we can use this tonic. When you level up, you do not heal, You do not gain your prayer back, you just simply increase your maximum. The only way you heal in this entire game is by actually using the tonics, which are limited throughout the game. So that's kind of part of what makes this a really neat survival horror RPG. And I haven't mentioned this yet, I don't think, but this is basically kind of like a precursor to the Resident Evil series. They took a lot of like ideas and concepts from this and brought them over, and I probably should have, yep, okay. Case in point, this is why we save often. That poison would have stuck with us until we were able to get back to Akiko, which is not worth this trip. I should have prayed with all my characters there, except for Kazuo, who can use the lighter on those. So we should get an encounter in the same spot here, if I'm consistent with my routing. It might be something different, but okay, no, it's the same. I really should be praying here. We're going to be getting a better weapon for Asuka here. You can actually do all this in the dark, but it's a little bit easier with the candle, and it's like barely any extra time to grab the candle. Alright, so Asuka's going to grab this switch knife. Going to let the bats... Oh, okay, never mind. We got hit by a bat, so we're going to have to fight it. They're not too bad, just, you know, extra fight that we don't need right now. But we do actually need to be getting experience in general, so it's not the worst thing. Alright, so we're going to do a fancy little maneuver here. We're going to use this board that has a lot more steps that we can put in on it, and we're just going to keep picking it up and putting it down. Grab the flashlight, grab the board again, put the board down. I said put the board down. And we're going to fight another bat because it was it was on a path to us. Pretty straightforward fight here. Only need 2 prayers. So those boulders, they're not really all that threatening. For the most part, we're just going to keep walking around and through or away from those boulders without much issue. Most of the environmental hazards in this game actually don't do that much damage to you. So even though they might be a little scary if you're playing through this casually, they're usually not worth stressing about that much. Alright, there's another level. That's actually fantastic for us. I'm going to be a little stingy here, yeah. Mostly because I want to have Emmy use her prayer before I use the tonic. So I'm going to drop a save as soon as I get through this door. The other characters that we left behind, Taguchi or Taro in the other translation, he has the key item of the camera, which, as you're going through the mansion here, generally speaking, you're going to take pictures of the frescoes. Whoops, there we go. You don't have any prayer. So I'm going to have to 2-cycle this dog. Hopefully it doesn't... Oh, that's why I saved. As you can see, we can hop right back into it.
Yeah, it's super convenient.
We're going to get an encounter in the same spot, so maybe I should cycle outside here if this doesn't work out here. Whoops. I need to remember to not hit it on the max. This is what I get for being stingy on my prayer. That's fine. Never mind, I don't have anybody else with prayer points. So that swipe status is basically something where... I'm going to get the encounter out here. That swipe status is where you need somebody else to get a prayer attack off to be able to free that character from being caught. There we go. Okay. So now we can get a different encounter this time. Oh, right. So as I was saying before, there's a bunch of these frescoes that you can see at the top of the screen here throughout the mansion, not mountain. This is not a mountain. All right, so here, whoops, I'm gonna have Emmy take control here. We need to pray and get at least 10. And we're gonna have Emmy pick up the spear. And then we're gonna have them escort it. And this fire does like no damage. Right, I keep interrupting myself. We use the camera to take pictures of those frescoes and they give us hints. There we go, that's all I needed to say. Alright, so we're gonna give the spear to the knight and we're gonna pray, get the 12 prayer points. You need to use at least 12, so you need to max out that bar, or near max, to get the 12. Alright, so now that we've used that, I'm gonna use the tonic, restore everybody's prayer, give lead back to Kazuo. There's no encounters in this room, so it's not increasing the step counter.
It said the wall fell?
Yes, the wall fell. It was struck by lightning.
Sweet home, when the walls fell.
Mm-hmm. So, I'm just gonna keep praying through most of these encounters. That's gonna be most of the run here, is like praying to one cycle all of these encounters. Well, I could go a little bit into the lore if you'd like.
Oh, Lord? Lord
Yes,
is great.
Lord,
Lord Dump.
We'll get a little bit more into it, but basically this mansion is haunted by Lady Mamiya, and we're a team of reporters that went in to get the pictures of the frescoes to like document to document them, because I think it was like her husband that was the famous artist. But yeah, Mamiya has a little bit of a messed up story that I'll actually have a good chance to get into a little bit later. And it does get a little bit messed up. I usually kind of shy away from it for like more public marathon type things because it's a little gruesome.
You're safe here in NES Block.
Yeah, this feels like a good place to go into it. I guess I should probably also give a general like flashing warning. It's been happening a lot during this section, but like it's gonna get more intense during a lot of the fights,
Gotcha.
particularly the final boss especially, but also throughout the run. And yeah, another thing about the Resident Evil thing, you got that like door animation.
Yeah.
The generator. Oh right, one thing that I didn't mention before is we're not doing the generator skip. There's a way to get past the section that you need to have the generator turned on for. However, as far as glitchless runs go, it's not totally clear whether the generator skip actually saves time or not. Let's see. So this is where we're actually going to grab the other two party members. We're going to have them team up. And they're going to pop over here. And they're going to get into a fight. Not with each other.
Okay.
Not with each other.
thank you for the clarification.
I should definitely make sure that's clear. They're still friends. Alright, they're going to pick a fight with this doll. And then they're going to call Kazuo. So normally when you're playing this game, you're going to have a group of 3 and a group of 2. And then when you get into a fight, you're going to have the group of 3 call the group of 2 over, or vice versa. And then the groups can meet up. The thing about this is that while you're in this state of running, the other team can't get into another fight.
Oh, okay.
So we can take advantage of this to basically get free movement at the cost of one team like having to tank some hits from a monster that does like no damage. Oh no, 1 damage.
Oh no.
So we're going to keep using these to call Kazuo. Another thing is these spirits, as they fly by, will generally capture you and take you somewhere else in the mansion. When you're in call mode, they do not affect you in the slightest. We're going to use the flashlight to open up that path, and then we're done with the flashlight, so we can swap that out. That's kind of mostly a note for myself.
Hey, sometimes that's what commentary is really good for. Helps you remember to do the thing, you know?
Yeah, for sure. This board has like 255 uses before it breaks, so it's not going to break within this run. Oh, Taguchi is frozen. That's actually a little bit unfortunate, but I'm trying to think, do we need to do another call? We don't. I think we can just pray and end this. So that just means when we get back here, here's how we would normally cure status ailments. we would just have a Kiko walk up to them, or have somebody else interact with the Kiko if she's the one that's being hit by it. Alright, so we're gonna grab this rope. Wait, okay, no, Emmy has the other rope. I was like, wait, where'd the other rope go? We need these 2 ropes specifically to grind for levels, which will make more sense in a moment. Whee! So normally you need the generator to be on to get into this room. There's a little bit of an exploit though, where if you enter this room right on the last frame where you're in call mode, you can actually get through this without the lights being on. Otherwise you get yeeted back out against the wall. And Mamiya's like, no, go back, no, you don't belong here. Wait, no, I don't want to pray here. I want to use the rope, and I want to use the rope. So for whatever reason, the rope just does ridiculous damage against these armors.
Is it like a whip?
I guess. It might be a whip at that point. So we're going to grind up to level 7 here, and then take a few extra encounters just to get a little bit of buffer experience. So, donations? No. This
$10 from Jorf.
Jorf? This little
Fuck on the wrong karma. Greetings from Germany.
Guten Tag. We're gonna just take this little walking path that we take here, because it doesn't matter which of our characters gets hit by the armor for the fight to start. So we're basically just kind of minimizing walking time for every cycle that we're in here. Whee!
Made up a donation in the middle of the run. He was like, oh, I got a quick donation. He's like, hey, it's $10 from. He says, man, this short guy kicks ass. This is great. And then 5 minutes later, somebody donated $10 with the exact same thing.
Oh, I remember that breaks donation
Oh,
fund.
that's so good.
Yeah.
Like, man, this Jorf guy kicks ass.
Shoutouts to Jorf.
Shout out to Jorf. $10 for Jorf. Just says Jorf. Give another $10 for Jorf. It just says Jorf.
Alright, there's our level 7, so I'm gonna take another 3 encounters here. Mostly so that we can hit level 8 off of a future room coming up. If you're playing this casually, I'd say it's not a bad idea to get up to level 10, just to make sure that you can really comfortably get past the future rooms. And with the ropes here, it just makes this grind so easy.
You have infinite uses of the rope?
Yeah,
Awesome.
the rope is infinite use.
What game is that?
This is Sweet Home.
Okay.
It's a neat little Famicom horror game. Does that answer your question?
I'm mostly just amused at the name.
Yeah. It's deceptive.
Alright.
There's a neat tech in it. Yeah.
We're gonna use this, and we're gonna walk down and around, because if we go straight through the middle, there's a trap tile that springs a chandelier or something similar on you.
Wall face. Wall face.
And I should have used my tonic because I am low on prayer points.
I was trying to get, because it's just does that move every frame or so, and you gotta try to hit it.
Oh, lucky. Come on. Hopefully that's enough. Oh, I don't like that. Oh my god, I really don't like this. I'm wondering, oh no. I didn't save after the grind.
So
I-
when Emmy's too scared, what does that mean?
That means she's not going to be able to do anything after this fight.
Well,
I think I need to...
you gotta grind again, right?
I think I gotta grind again.
Yeah.
That sucks, but... Oh wait, no, I did save. I saved.
Hey!
I instinctively save a lot, and I forget when I save. Okay. Okay, we're gonna get in a fight in the same spot, but I'm gonna remember to use the tonic this time so that I can actually pray. Anyway, yeah, save often. Alright, wall face again. We're gonna use max prayer on everybody and actually one cycle this. Wow, it didn't even take 2 attacks. Or it took 2 attacks, rather. And for anybody curious, this note over here is the note that mentions Resident Evil. Or in the original guidance, the original translation, the residing evil. The residing evil. So right now we're basically trying to get down into the basement, the courtyard area. So we need a way to get down. And conveniently enough, this room here has a ladder that we can use. And hey, look, more armors that we can fight. And guess what? Rope is still just as effective. So that's part of why I grinded out a few extra, because I want to hit level 8 in here. These tiles right here are sticky tiles. If you take 5 steps on these without touching normal floors, you will... I think I wanted that on you. Yeah. You'll get stuck. So we're having to be a little bit careful about how we move on these sticky tiles. Once again, using the ropes to clear these. And we also picked up some new weapons for Kazuo and Emmy. So, what's better than 1 rope, you say? Or maybe you didn't. But my answer is 2 ropes tied by more ropes. That's right, the ladder that we're about to pick up is more ropes.
More rope.
More rope.
And by that I mean it also works against these armors, and even more so. Here we go, here's our rope ladder, and we're just going to swap our rope for this one because it's a strict upgrade. And not just because we actually need to do some inventory management. Oh man! I forgot to bring an octagon! Oh, okay. I forgot we can just one-shot those. Alright, so on our way out, we're going to grab this tonic. We don't need the flashlight anymore. So I'm going to leave that down here. I'm going to take this fight intentionally because we need XP. This game has some level gates that we need to meet. In particular, we need to be level 16 by the end of the run. The way that this game level gates you is that it has prayer checks that you need to get past, like the ones earlier where I had to do 10 prayer for one and 12 prayer for the next. So at the end, we need to do an 82 prayer check, which we can only have if we have level 16. Alright, I'm going to drop a save here just in case I do something silly, because I have had instances of things going south here. Funny timing for the encounter. Alright, so let's see if I can make a bad decision here. I'm just going to attack with these because I'm pretty sure I can one-cycle this with these 2 weapons, and I can. Thank goodness. Walk around the falling knife and or chandelier and or chair. I don't remember what's there, I just know something's there. Getting a lot of really fast encounters right now, which isn't the worst because I do need the XP, but I'd kind of prefer higher XP. Alright, so we're going to use the ladder, and now we're down in the basement here. There's a bunch of mirrors here that you can fight. Yes, you heard me. Oh, whoops, I don't need to mallet that. No, I don't vacuum that either, I lighter. I'm thinking ahead. The mirror that we actually specifically need to fight is right above us. We're getting a little low on prayer points, but that's fine. That just means we're actually getting fights for XP. Which means we're doing pretty well on levels, actually. So this is a guaranteed fight when you step on that tile, because we're fighting the mirror now. And now we can use the mallet to smash this. Any of the other mirrors don't leave a hole behind. All right, so we're gonna take a look at this fountain. Looks pretty nice. Let's take a drink. Oops, it's blood. Oops, all blood. All right, so we're gonna grab this pail over here now that we've had a nice little taste, I guess. And something somewhere else tells us that blood corrodes copper, so we're gonna, now that we've had a sip, I guess, we're gonna fill the pail with blood. We need this log up here. And I really should probably use this tonic after this fight. Emmy's not really had to use much prayer, but that's fine. She's gonna get her chance to like be the MVP soon. Alright, so I'm gonna actually hold off on grabbing that tonic until a little bit later. And then we're gonna use the pail on this because it's copper and the blood gets rid of the copper, I guess. And we're gonna swap the pail out for these pills. Most of these items here are temporary or main slot inventory items that can replace lost items by dead characters. So the pills are Akiko's medkit replacement. So we actually have a way to deal with status ailments for a little bit here instead of having to reset completely if we get hit by one. And one thing that's worth mentioning about this game is this is a survival horror RPG. So if a character dies, they are dead. You do not get them back. And if you lose all your characters, that's game over. We unfortunately don't do quite enough damage to one-shot the zombies here. Another instance of those brambles kind of hurt, but not much. In fact, let's look. 550 health. Oh, well, of course we get an encounter right here, but we're still probably not going to like lose much. Well, we can kind of tell here. Yeah, they do 10 damage every time they tick like that, so for how often we're going to be using tonics, like that's not going to be a problem. It could theoretically be a problem if you are playing casually and you're not sure where you're going, and you have to keep walking through them repeatedly, but since we know where we're going, it's not such a big deal. Alright, so I'm going to save our game here, and we're just going to, you know, send the daughter here off on her own adventure. She'll be fine, probably. She will be fine. I saved. If she isn't fine, I'm resetting. We need to grab this shovel. And we're going to take a look at this memorial here. We want to dig here, but we can't quite focus, so we got to pray first. Very, very heavily. Look at it twice and we get the basement low key. Theoretically, we could actually take the other boat and go back to the entrance here immediately, but I actually want to get some XP with these three, so I'm gonna like take whatever encounters I get on the way back. Thankfully at this point, the only thing that would really be a problem is that one encounter we had before that I don't think we still can one cycle, but it's not a huge deal if we don't. Well, Okay, there we go. I was about to say, we really haven't been getting much encounters here. So I guess at this point, the game kind of starts telling you about how Lady Mamiya is haunting the place because she lost her baby. More context on that later. But this is kind of where you start to piece things together. Alright, so we got a good fight there. Let's save and go forward. Double checking my inventory to make sure I have things sorted here. Yeah, that looks good. Alright, so our party is going to get disbanded here. Here's Yamamura, who's going to show us how to use the low key. He's been trapped here for a while as well. And we're asking him, wait, why is this place haunted? And it turns out that by digging up that key that we need to progress, we actually unsealed the curse. So Mamiya is like more free to like fully properly curse this place. And she misses her child. This little conversation here also teaches you that you can push those statues and that you can break any thin walls with a mallet. And oops, curse. Darn. Alright, so we're going to team back up with the other two here. Gonna grab this tonic. Gonna drop another save here because I'm being overly cautious. We're gonna be doing the call trick here again soon, but I want to, yep, and that's why. I don't like to desync my experience, so I'm gonna run away from this. I don't like it when my party members get their levels across multiple encounters, so I want to swap back to Kazuo because they swapped places here. Alright, so we're going to hop back over to Akiko. We're going to farm up an encounter here. Oh no, it's another doll! We're going to call Kazuo twice here. Oh, whoops, I didn't need to walk around the statue that's not there anymore because I pushed it. Oh well. We're going to swap the rope for the bow. We're going to hop down here and use the amulet. And that's going to reveal a path down to the very depths of the basement. Then we're just going to hang out here for a moment. Doll's going to get an attack. We're going to call Emmy this time now, and then we're going to pray. Emmy's just going to run as far as she can in here. Boop. Take a tiny little hit from the fire there, it's fine. Alright, so that's that doll gone, and we're going to swap back to Emmy. Do another quick save because I'm once again being very cautious. We can get a fight between there and here. Alright, so we're going to talk to this person here who needs a new shovel to continue. We have one, so we're going to hand it over. And whoops. If you have all of your party members in here at this point, they'll get split up across the basement here. Alright, so now we want to swap back to Akiko again, and we're going to get another fight here. And we're going to do a bunch of calling over to Emmy and have her do a lot of very normal things that a child should be doing in the basement. So now that we've flooded the basement, the statue guarding this door is now gone. Which is great because we need an item from inside here. use this wood to cross here. So I actually want that weapon down below, and we'll get it, just not right now. Because of something that I think is really smart about the route, and I was like, when I saw it was part of the route, I was really happy. I think we only need one more call here before we pray. So here's where the story gets a little messed up, just as a warning. So we walk in here, you hear a baby crying, whoops. And yeah, so it turns out the reason Mamiya lost her baby was that there was somehow an incident with the incinerator, and somehow the baby fell in. And the game doesn't quite exactly tell the whole story here, but basically Mamiya went mad through that and wound up stealing other kids and throwing them into the incinerator as well until she got caught. Yeah. I mentioned that this...
I'm still here for it, but sheesh.
Yeah. So now we get to play which of these coffins has the key, and every time we reset it can be different. And yes, that skeleton just turn its head, it's fine. Okay, here's our key.
So if you found the key first try, would you just have no idea? Like, oh, the key's in here, no big deal.
Yeah. Yeah. Alright, so here's that weapon we wanted from earlier.
Nice. Ooh, shiny.
Yeah, the shiny dagger is really strong. She now has the strongest weapon in the party.
Hold it close, it's a shiny dagger.
She just like comes back up from the basement completely unfazed, and her dad Kazuo is just like, Emmy, let me see what you have. And she's just like, a knife. No! Alright, so... Oh, okay, we got an encounter after going through the door. But nothing here can really phase us, so we're just gonna attack. Emmy should do a truckload of damage. We are level 10, which is great. Alright, so we're gonna swap out the amulet here. We'll need the amulet for the final boss, but we don't need it for a while. And once we open the diary, we can now push the statues on the veranda. That's the right word, I think it is. The balcony? We'll go with balcony. Another fight that we can just blast through here. Which I won't complain about free experience, but, you know, I'd rather be getting experience from higher value targets right now.
So anyway, I started blasting.
Pretty much. So this gap is too wide to cross with the rope, but with a bow... Alright, so now that Emmy has her upgraded knife, we can give Asuka her upgraded knife, and then Kazuo can take his upgraded sword. Oh, whoops, wrong key. Also, I should use this tonic before I forget, because we're going to need to pray for every encounter in here. Alright, and before I head in, I want to move the pills over to Asuka's inventory, because that's where I usually have them. So these boulders are kind of funny, because they don't actually do damage until they start rolling. So you can just kind of walk through them. If you have a mallet here, you can use it to break that wall on the left. Also, whenever you get these encounters, you can just pray to get through them as quickly as possible. Normally, you have to pick one of the 4 options, and it's RNG on whether it works or not. If you fail, it just does a little bit of damage to you, not a significant amount. But it is also just kind of there to help keep you on your toes and make the general suspense of the mansion stay high. So this pulley that we found in that statue is something we can use to move fast, but we'll need to use it once we've gotten through this room. because it's considered a movement item alongside the pick. And the pick we need because, hey, this room is ice. We're going to swap the bow for this candle. All right, now that we're all off the ice, we can swap to the pulley for movement. And you'll notice we move a lot faster now. Well, once we get moving again. Well, it would help if we don't get an encounter on the literal second square of the next room as well, but you know what, that's fine. We need the XP. These armors are perfect because they give a lot of experience without being too hard for us to one-hit KO. Or one cycle KO, one round KO, I guess. It doesn't matter how many prayer points you use on these, by the way, so you want to try and use as little as possible. There are 3 of these in this room. One more right here. And these are all of Lady Mamiya's servants, basically wandering around in their quarters, being kind of panicked that that Lady Mamiya has gone mad, basically. That's fine because we actually have the pills now. I almost instinctively... Okay, I want to swap to Asuka here. And before... There we go, pills. So that type of poison was not only a lockdown poison, but also a damage-ticking poison. So they not only get stuck, but they're also, like, slowly dying over time until you heal them. The poison here from these wolves are pretty bad. Is pretty bad, rather. All right. Upside down zombie, very dangerous. I don't remember if I can one-cycle these, but it's fine. I think we were good. Maybe not, but again, we still have the pills. Even if they're on Asuka, all we have to do... Oh, whoa, geez, right. This is not one that separates them from the party, so we can just use the pills like that. Alright, so we're going to swap out... I'm actually going to use the tonic here, do things a little bit differently. Alright. So I'm going to have everyone get captured by these spirits. Come on, loop back around. Thank you. And then I'm also going to get caught myself. Or, you know, they'll go for another loop, it's fine. Alright, cool. Gang's all here, it's fine. And then I'm going to save real quick. Asuka, Asuka, you can have this axe. And then I'm gonna leave the pills over here in case I forget to save or something, but we want the tonic for the most part right now. Thankfully, we can use 60 prayer points now, so we should be able to one-cycle these now. And they give a lot of XP. Whoops, I accidentally used one of the options, so now we have to wait for the song to play out. Usually they don't actually do damage as long as you do something before they crash. So here at this point, we've got a mix of plot progression and grinding to do. So I'm going to try and take as many fights as I can as I'm going through and doing the next few little bits of plot. There's a forced trap here. There's one more in the upper right section of this area. We want to try to be at least level 12, hopefully 13, by the end of this section. Alright, here comes another dagger. Gonna see if I can sneak in another couple fights here. So yeah, this first pass is both taking out all these knights and getting rid of those traps just so that we don't have to deal with them later. Alright, then we're gonna pop over into this room here with the twin key? Yeah, the twin key. Gonna pop in here, use the pick immediately. We no longer need the low key, so we're gonna swap this out and then use the other tonic that we had. And we need to grab this ring down here, but only after we talk to Ichiru. We're gonna have to do that. Ichiro? Probably. Wait, not Ichiru. We've already used the pick, so we can stay on the ice. Now we swap back to the pulley to go fast again. And we're done with the pick for a while. Well, forever, hopefully. And at this point, we are once again just trying to get as many encounters as we can in this room before we go to the lower half here. I'm gonna actually get an encounter outside of this armor here. Well, if it'll let me. Jeez. RNG, please. Right? When I want them, where are they? Like, optimally, if you can help it, it's like really great to get random encounters and then immediately after get into these. At this point. Oh. We will have opportunities to use 69 prayer points soon. Let's see. I want to grab one more encounter before I use the tonic. I hope y'all are ready for the best room in the game. Alright, here we go. Best room in the game right here. Party room! So many animals. Let me in. I just want to get the stairs. Alright, I do not need the pick anymore. I just need one of you to move. Thank you. Right? There's just so many like rats and cats in that room, it's great. Alright, we're gonna do one more round of like farming encounters while we go through here. We're level 12, which is great. We just need to get one more level here. Oh wait, before I use that tonic actually, we need to drop off our blue candles. Wee!
going. They're going. I'm good.
Okay.
So if you need to go get food.
So one reason that it's important to save. There's a funny thing about this I don't know why I just saved again. There's a funny thing about this translation where if you look at these before you've put in any candles, this happens. It's not very good. So I'm going to reset and reload that.
I'm so glad that you put that on there, just so we have it for posterity.
So yeah, that is an unfortunate part of this translation, but
Oh, I really wanted that to just always be the case in the game. It's like, no. If you, yeah.
all right, so that frees up 2 inventory slots.
This game is so good.
This game is awesome.
Sweet, really. The precursor to Resident Evil, how could I not?
Yeah.
It's
We're
also,
gonna.
like, amazing music, even though it's super repetitive.
Yeah.
It's doom and gloom, and it does it really well.
Yeah. It does the like survival horror aspect of things incredibly well. If you're playing this casually, you're like constantly on edge, wondering what's gonna hit you in the next room.
That and the story plays itself out really, really well.
Yeah.
No time for story in the speedrun, but
Yeah.
the story is really, really cool. It's also very dark.
Yeah, I went into that a little bit earlier. And speaking of dark, we're about to get to a little bit of, I guess, both a flashing warning and I guess it's probably worth saying NES gore warning.
If that door opening animation isn't a precursor to Resident Evil, I don't know what is.
Right. I think I want to be Asuka this time because I gave her the rings.
Vacuum girls.
Item, yeah, there we go. You basically just need the rings on the same person to convince this person to get out of the way. All right, so we're gonna swap to Emmy here real quick. We didn't disturb the memorial, leave us be. Here comes the flashing right around this corner up to our left here. Here's Yamamura. And Yamamura's gonna help us get through this barrier. Unfortunately, it will cost him his life.
I mean, he was already glowing anyway, so he clearly didn't Anime death. Cutscene death, so you know it's real. Look at that. Look at that imagery now. You think this game is here to release in the US in 1989? Hell no. Hell. That's just
Yeah. Pretty intense for NES. You gotta give it up. All right, so intense flashing. Intense flashing every time Mamiya shows up. It just feels very much worth mentioning.
And you don't have powers. It's like
So we
9-year-old girl, I have a key.
we swapped off of we had Emmy break off because we can actually get in with the other 2 now that we've done that. And we're gonna have Asuka pick up, oh, well that was Kazuo. I have them a little backwards, don't I? No, I don't. Okay, so this gold key opens exactly 5 doors, and there's one of them. Yes, please feel free to continue counting the doors that we open with the gold key. Because guess what? That's right, here's number 2. This key is already 40% used, baby.
Tell me this isn't a Resident Evil aim
And I don't like desyncing the XP, so I'm just gonna run from this. Even though I could one cycle it without like lifting a finger.
Speaking of the soundtrack, there's actually a full original score of this soundtrack out there that was
Whoops.
performed in Japan. It is magical.
Alright, so now that we've gone through all of that, we can actually get down into the basement. So we're gonna have, wait, you should move, whoops, no, okay, hold on. You should have the twin key. Alright, so we're gonna grind up to level 14, which we're already level 13, which is a good start. I've often gotten to this point and been level 12 still, so we're actually making pretty good pace here. Hey, there was a nice, double nice.
I've only hit him for 420 damage.
I'm gonna,
Run of the day.
I'm using this cave here because it's easier to just like keep moving up and down without accidentally moving to the side and then potentially leaving and getting the encounter outside of this little basement area. Shouldn't have too many more encounters before we hit 14 here.
I remember from my casual playthrough of this, learning that actually attacking enemies was bad, and that items are just the way to go. The items in this game are just so high.
We definitely used ropes a lot earlier for some statue farming, but the speedrun mostly takes advantage of prayer otherwise. Aside from Kazuo's lighter a couple of times.
Remember, kid, we're grinding boards for levels.
The only thing we don't want to run into right now is a lich because we can't one-turn them, and they do have an attack that can blow one of our party members away. So if we do run into one, it's unlikely that we'll have that happen, but it can happen. It's never happened to me, but, you know, that's just the exact kind of thing that I could say to make it happen.
Karma's funny like that.
Hey! I'm actually kind of surprised that it didn't give us 14 right there, but I haven't really been keeping track.
Come on, game, do math better.
Upside down zombie, that's how you know it's scary. Still not 14. You can imagine how annoying it would be to get here at level 12 and have to grind all the way up to 14. So the dress item that we got from the room is something that's hinted at by one of Mamiya's servants. And it's basically a reusable prayer refill. So we don't have to worry about running out of prayer points anymore. Where's our level 14? If this one doesn't give me 14, I'm going to be a little bit angry. And here's the lich, so let's see if we get blown away. Nope, thankfully it just did an attack. I don't think we need to pray this round, but I'm going to anyway because we can. There we go. Okay, there's our 14. Let's refill our prayer, drop a quick save. All right, now that we're 14, we can use the, we can pass the next prayer check that we need to pass.
After you just encountered a lich, the scary thing is the chandelier. Because video games. No, the doll. Even worse.
Yeah, unfortunately, like at this point, those encounters still show up, which means we have to sit through the animation of them spawning. Alright, so here is our third gold key usage? No, fourth.
Yes.
Fourth.
Correct. Oh, wait, we're not playing gold.
And we're going to have Kazuo here at the front of the line get captured by a spirit to take us right where we need to go. Whee! And here's number 5.
Imagine not having the key with it when that happens. Trouble we be in.
I would definitely have reset and reloaded my save. And now that we don't need the key anymore, we can just swap this out with the slide here. And nothing in... Well, actually, wait, no, the encounters in here are still kind of dangerous because they know you have to have the gold key to get here. Alright, so... Well, I did just... No, I should do the thing. I'm going to have Akiko and Taguchi here take an encounter one more time. And they're going to call out to Kazuo for help again.
Imagine putting the nurse on
And Kazuo's just going to kind of haul butt back over here. Whee! Hi, Spirit. Bye, Spirit. Not that we have the pulley, we run faster than those. Alright, reunited with the squad. That's fine. Hey, the other two leveled up finally. Good for them. I'm proud of them. Alright, so now we're going to take a look at this projector.
I didn't hear what we're talking about, but I'm proud of you, Karma.
Our other two party members leveled up finally.
The two that don't really see much play that speed run.
Alright, so now that we've gotten the full picture, we need to pray. And once we hit 72 prayer points, that blasts a hole in the wall. So you weren't too far off with the cannon comment.
Hey, Wolfie, put down that hors d'oeuvre.
Pet the dog.
Time for the main course.
And we're doing a heck of a lot more damage at this point with all the weapon upgrades we've gotten, including this one, which I think we just put that on Emmy here.
It is a plus sword.
I need to use the twin key here.
$20 to buy mini swords.
Explain how.
Is this the gold key for swords and services?
Oh, we've already used the gold key.
Oh, I see. I want
Okay, 257, 190.
Our leader got transported away, and we got to use the key.
Wait, yeah, no, that was the dagger.
Prompted the ship goes.
I don't know why I'm...
Imagine if he didn't have the key when he got whisked away.
Why am I doubting myself here? I think it was the shiny axe that's not as... 237... Okay, yeah, the axe isn't as good. So we're going to actually have Emmy swap that, and she'll take care of that, because she's going to swap over to the pitchfork when we get that. And then this is like a much earlier enemy that we can just attack and mow down really easily. We need this key, so we're going to have Kazuo grab that. Kind of spaced out for a moment there in terms of like the weapons and stuff. And we're probably going to get like a level 1 enemy here. Hooray! Remember when we were excited for maggots? That was about an hour ago. Okay, so now that we have the iron key, we're going to get into another encounter we don't want to take right now. Hey, more maggots! Here we go.
I gotta play Waldo first. Crack Attack wanted no part of that, by the way. Oh, I know. Just to make sure people are.
We're going to use the twin key here.
Remember he made the comment of, hey, guys, we've been much Adobe before. I'm like, not me. Mega Man X6.
We don't really need to grab this tonic because we're going to be using a different one later. This fire doesn't actually do all that much damage, so we're just going to pick this up. And we don't need the twin key anymore, so we're going to pick up the photo with that.
He had runs in Retrothon. That Mega Man 2 Atari remake was real good. Yeah, it was real good. He's still in good spirits, what I can tell. Other than that,
We need this rope, so we'll have Emmy pick this up.
rope the dope.
And then she's also going to grab this pitchfork, which is the best weapon in the game.
No, I wanted you to hear that.
I'm trying to think. I want to grab an encounter before I do anything else here.
Hey, just up and down through the whole border, be like, talk to me, Dean.
Here, demon, 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 demon.
We're waiting. We're away from the counter, be like, that'll be fine.
Okay, so now we're going to have Kazuo split off here. Asuka's not too happy about that. She's never happy about anyone splitting off. She's like, whatever. Fine, I'll take your kid over here, I guess. Alright, so we're gonna get another encounter over here. And we're gonna use the call time. so that we don't have to take all 3 of these people through the little basement gauntlet here. Call Kazuo. And we really want to be careful not to go into these rooms because most of them are sand pits that would basically lead to that character dying unless they get rescued by another character with a rope. Alright, then we grab this mallet over here. We don't need the iron key anymore. Smash this mirror. And join the fight. Alright, so Kazuo is going to reunite with everybody. And here is where we're going to do a bit of farming up to level 16. Hooray!
Hooray, farming!
It's all liches here.
Liches all the way down.
So this is a good way to farm.
Yes, once you get to level 14 and you're able to get here, this is the best farming place in the game because you can pray to one cycle or one turn them, and you have the dress to restore your prayer points. Speaking of. So, donations.
I mean, where the lich requires a donation.
$20 from that lich. Says, liches get stitches.
Wait a minute.
Good luck, Karma.
Yeah, I can, like, for what it's worth, my best run would have finished about a minute ago.
That's like safety saving and like
Well, yeah,
and,
With-
some better luck on
This
less resets.
Yeah.
without marathon save stress is kind of a hazard. Like, pretty much like PB attempts or whatever.
Even doing PB attempts, I usually drop some saves here and there.
So this has been running limit break before. I forgot who ran it.
Rain.
Yeah, it was a while back. That was before sub-hour was a thing.
Yeah, the sub-hour strats are mostly, like, really weird glitchy stuff.
Sure. Because speed runs, but yeah. I do recall it being some weird numbers, but
There's some really weird party desync stuff you can do to basically be in, like, God, I can't even really describe it myself. There's like a whole write-up on it, but the current any % record that's like half an hour long,
that seems short.
yeah, it uses some really heavy glitches. So I guess I maybe could have specified that this is like glitchless, but like I don't really. The boards aren't specifically separated, so.
Fixing it now.
I guess if we're fixing the category, you could say 2016 translation as well, because that's a specific category.
On amendasbeer.com for all the information on writing.
I think this could be brought to sub-hour with these strats, but it would be real tight.
You know, I say I'm fixing it now, but I can't because it has the letter S in it, and that would stop the timer.
Yeah, I remember that happened on my Blue Marlin run.
Oh, see? Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm glad I remembered it before I, stopped the timer.
Yeah.
Not fixing it now.
Oh wait, we hit level 15 at least. Whatever, I'm just gonna go straight to 16, it's fine. Normally what I would do is I'd try and stop one lich short of 16 so that I could get it while I'm getting the rest of my items that I need for the final boss, but I think for the sake of consistency.
You could update the category to 80% 2016. Because the three categories are 80%, 2016, and 80% Cajun. And you could have skipped the word translation and I'd use the word the letter S.
No, that still stops the timer. Why did that stop the timer? Hold on. It's okay. It's fine. No, it's fine.
I have paused.
Zoom.
Okay.
So sorry.
Apparently, one of those numbers is pause. I don't know which one.
Yeah,
But that's okay. It now
sabotaged. I'm sorry.
Listen, all y'all. It's a sabotage. All right. Anyway, the category now says any %
To
2016.
add even more onto that, you basically had a moment of convince me to not fire you without using the letter E. Except it was feel free to update the category without using the letter E. I'm a good work guy. You're fired. You will.
I mean, legitimately, my solution was going to be to edit a different source that already had the letter S in it.
That's the same nonsense I would do when I love it.
Glitch, L-E,
Oh.
space.
Like, look, man, Control C, Control V still works.
Oh my god.
Listen, that makes way too much sense. I like the challenge.
Here we go. So here's level 16, so we're going to use the dress one more time.
Like the complicated route.
Pray up.
We're going to swap out the dress for the coffin,
Makes sense.
and then we're going to leave the coffin on the dinner table. We'll be back for that.
Well, the story earlier alluded to why small coffins were okay.
Oh right, so that coffin we found earlier wasn't actually the baby.
Oh, okay.
The coffin that we just now found was the baby.
Ah, okay.
Orkies, what are you doing?
Alright, so the reason why we left those items up here earlier was because we can just come right back up for them now. We want to use the tonic, have Asuka grab the diary, and then the mallet can swap out for the amulet. Alright, so now we have all 4 of the items. Well, we have 3 of the 4 items, but Emmy will be grabbing the last one, swapping it with the rope. Alright, Wallface.
We had an entertaining scenario where Karma was mentioning that the any% route uses a lot of glitches, and she's running a glitchless route here. So I was going to type in glitchless, but then I thought I'd stop the timer if I pressed the letter S, so I'm not going to type it in.
Grab the coffin off the dinner table. And here I'm going to save because it's really important that we get this right. We're going to put the blue candle here,
I was so pissed. I was like,
and we're going to light the candles. And now we need to use at least 82 prayer points here.
Well,
I am saving those prayer points, dang it.
Yeah, that's a lot of prayer points.
Alright, so use the candle. Lighter. There we go.
first try.
First try, every try.
I learned one thing from DCD. Hold on to your prayer points.
Alright, so now we're in the final area here. And there's a bunch of spirits here that try and take you away, but you just kind of hide under the... Yeah, you hide under bridges. You get shouted instructions on what order you need to use items in. And we also have to fight ghost versions of ourselves. So here is Akiko, but ghost, who is strangely strong for being Akiko.
That movie is on YouTube. Sure, check it out.
We got 2 more of those encounters to get through. We actually do have to be like pretty high on prayer here to get through these properly. I hope that's enough. Yep, okay. This last one is a little bit tougher just because if you like are missing too much prayer, you definitely will get hit here. And usually it's okay, but sometimes it's not. There's an 85. Like to see that. That should be good. Alright, cool. Alright, so we're going to save before the final boss here, just because. Alright, so mega flashing warning here. There's just like so much flashing throughout this fight. It is constant flashing. So we're just going to run away because we don't actually want to fight here. And by that I mean we actually have to wait for a specific dialogue before we can... Oh, there it is! There's our dialogue.
You all die.
I think it's amulet, and then the photo recalls reality. Yep, okay. So there's our first 2 key items that we need to use. And now she's confused, so we pray. And now here's phase 2. That was the fastest I've ever gotten out of phase 1.
Nice.
Alright, so now we have to just attack for a little bit here. I think we actually do have to get damage in at this point. We keep doing this until we get some different dialogue here, at which point we need to use the diary. Alright, here we go.
6 years ago.
He truly loves me. No, he do not.
I love it.
This diary proves it. Basically, this whole thing is you convincing her, actually, wait, you're dead, and you did some bad things. Please do not throw children into the furnace, thank you. Let's see, I think I can just attack now. Yeah.
Already praised and prayed it away. Hit it. Why won't you die?
Here we go, and now we just need to use the coffin, and then pray. Give me my baby or die. Okay, here's your baby.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back.
And then time will be as soon as this fades out after this prayer.
Okay.
And time. And so now we all get to escape the mansion. I feel like I need to let this go through the credits to get to the ending.
You're good, you're good. I think that it's only fair. We know so much about the story, but we don't know how it ends.
So the ending of this game actually depends on how many characters you have alive. And for the first time I've ever had this actually happen to me in the practice room the other day, I actually had one of my characters die during the final boss because I had really bad luck with the first phase actually getting out and to the point where I could start using items. So I had my own little "that's never happened before" moment. But yeah, if you have 1 to 4 people alive, you get different varying degrees of, oh gee, I wish everybody made it out alive. And then of course if you only have 1 person alive at the end, which by the way, you need 4 items to beat the final boss, which means you at least need 2 people to go into that final boss.
Right, like they need that one needs to die in the effort.
And yeah, so one of those people needs to die during the final boss for that to happen. So if you have 1 person left alive, they like build a memorial of themselves for the people who died, and they're like, oh, so much bloodshed. But otherwise, it's just kind of like, gee, I wish everyone survived. However, if everyone survives, you get kind of a cheesy little stinger. Also, shoutouts to Fishman.
Yo, Fishman.
New Robot Master or something?
I mean, this was made by Capcom, so. Coming up here, I think we have one of my favorite little bits. I can't believe the music is gone. And in case you were wondering if this was Capcom,
Special thanks to Arthur King.
shoutouts to Arthur King. And of course, if you're translating, you gotta give yourself a little plug.
Right, yeah, just a little pat on the back.
Oh, yeah, good job, me.
Good job, me. Other people can understand this game now.
And here we go into the actual ending that we get from this.
Whoa, that was a load bearing.
The load-bearing diesel engine.
Our report is done. You guys did great. Except for this one thing.
Where are my pictures of Spider-Man?
Oh no!
It's 2 phases.
Never mind the fact that we could just select attack once and beat him down with any of our 3 active party members.
Right, yeah.
Anyway, this is the point where no matter what you press, nothing happens.
The game is just
The game just soft locks itself. It leaves you on that note and says goodbye.
the end.
The
Question
end.
mark?
Anyway, that was Sweet Home.
Karma.
I hope you had a good time. And NES Block, Best Block.
NES Block, best block.